Hi, would you like a printed report of each job to take to the CNC machine? In this tutorial, we'll learn how to create a printed nest report just like this one. Here we can see that it has quite a bit of information about the job, including a visual representation of the nest. We have the material type, size and thickness, so the operator knows which material to load. It shows which tools will be used and which tool changer position they need to be loaded in. We can also see some predicted times to cut the job. The barcode here allows you to load the file with a barcode scanner if your CNC machine has the option. Let's find out how to customize a nest report. First of all, I have a job loaded. This isn't strictly necessary, but it gives us something to preview. Next, we can go to the printing menu. Over here on the nest report toolbar, we're going to click on the design tool. This will bring up a default layout. In this view, you can use the file open and file save functions to create multiple versions for different jobs. Here we have one called blank. You can see the current template name on the title bar at the top of the screen. Next, I want to select the desired printer. You can choose from any local or network printers. For this purpose, I'm using the Microsoft Print to PDF driver, so I can show you on the screen when it's printed. Normally, you would send the nest reports to a physical printer to get hard copies for the workshop. Next, I'm going to select the paper size, which in this case is A4 in landscape orientation. Now, to add details to the sheet, we can use the various options on the toolbar on the left. First, I want to display the nest on the page, so I'll click on the nest icon on the toolbar. You can see that it places a small nest at the top left corner. To position it, we can drag it wherever we choose. We can resize it using the nodes at the corners. There, that should do it. Next, I want to place a company logo on the page. Clicking on the image tool allows you to select a bitmap. I can resize it and position it in the same way. Now let's add a title to the page using the text tool. Let's change the text to CNC Nest Report. Now we can position it. Change the font and the text size. And we can justify it to the center. Now, let's add some live data to the report. The Field tool allows us to add a placeholder which will display the specified parameter at print time. We can add as many of the available fields to the page as we want. For the demo, let's choose the file name of the CNC file. We can use the text tool to add a description in front of the field also. We can reposition any of the entities on the page by clicking on them and dragging them. When a text object is selected, we can change any of the text options just like in any text editor. Let's have a quick look at the nest report as it stands. If we want to preview the nest report, all we have to do is close the window and it will ask us if we want to save the changes. Once we do, it becomes the active template. Clicking on the preview button generates the nest report for the current sheet. Let's go back and select the template we had open earlier. We can customize it at any time and save it. Now let's preview it again using the full template. There, that looks great. If you want to manually print the nest report at any time, you can click on the Nest Report Print button here on the printing toolbar. However, if we want to print the nest reports every time you output a job, there's a checkbox in the Export Configuration window. Let's check it out. First, let's go back to the main screen. Now I'm going to output the CNC files to our CNC machine. Once we enter a file name for the nest and click Save, we see the Export Options window. All we have to do is select the Print Nest Report on Export checkbox. Once so click Export, ToolShop will create a CNC file for each sheet of material in the job, and it will print a nest report for each sheet as well. If you would like assistance to configure your nest reports, please ask your ToolShop support team. You can also find more information about using the nest reports in the help file. Thanks for watching. Next time, we'll learn how to print labels for each individual part in the nest. See you soon.